Hey everybody, welcome to this special edition of Going the Distance, where I'm going to review one of the concerts that I went to. And right now we're going to review the Hootie and the Blowfish concert that I went to actually a week ago. So that was Edwin McCain, Collective Soul, and Hootie and the Blowfish. Now, I have really looked forward to this concert because all three of these bands are bands that I grew up listening to. Edwin had amazing hits back in the 90s. Collective Soul, just amazing throughout the whole early 90s through early 2000s. And then Hootie's success came in 94 with Cracked Rear View. And if you go look at one of my videos, I did a what we're listening to on Hootie and the Blowfish, and I gave some stats about Cracked Rear View, like it was one of the most successful albums of the 90s. It went, I believe I've said 23 times platinum, maybe more. And it just gradually gained success. But we're going to jump into the review. So first we started with Edwin McCain. And he came out, he played 5 songs. It was just him and 2 other people in his band. So it was like an acoustic set. And it was just really amazing, the background. He had, since he's from South Carolina, his background was a circle. It said Edwin McCain with a tree, and then off to the side it was the sun, so it was like the South Carolina flag. But he came out and he sang songs like I'll Be and I Couldn't Ask for More, which are 2 of his biggest hits as a solo artist. And then he played some of the newer stuff. And then he went off stage. And as time went on, it got darker, and Collective Soul came out, and they're celebrating 30 years as a band. So this was like a 30th anniversary tour for them. They came out and they played 9 songs. Now, I thought to myself, back when Edwin McCain was playing, I thought, why did he only play 5 songs? But Edwin was throughout the night. So when Collective Soul came out, they started with one of their newer songs called Mother's Love, and that's actually one of the new singles they have. Came out guns blazing, just rocking. And they played their songs like Heavy and Shine, The World I Know, December, Run. It was mixed throughout. They didn't play them all back to back to back to back to back. They came out and they played, when they did Shine, they did they did a version of Living on the Edge with an Aerosmith song. So they incorporated that in. So they played half of Shine, and then they played Living on the Edge, and then finished with Shine, which I think is really cool. They incorporate those songs, other songs, in with their set. But as I said, Edwin was throughout the night. So they played 5 songs to start out with, and then the 6th song was an AC/DC song called Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And that's where Edwin McCain came out and sang with them. And it was pretty cool because every time they did the chorus, Edwin showed up on the screen just by himself, just like this. And it was really cool. And you could tell that Collective Soul and Edwin McCain had been friends for a while, and it wasn't like they were just thrown together. But then when songs like Heavy, which was their 4th song, came on, the crowd rose to their feet. And the whole stadium, the whole amphitheater sang Shine. The whole amphitheater sang every song they played. But when Shine and December and all those early 90s hits came out, they got up and sang. And it was really great to see Collective Soul, because I've been a fan of theirs for years. And loved their voice, loved their sound. Didn't realize that they had been together for 30 years. But, I listen to the new stuff. I listen to the old stuff. And they're a band who never really changed their sound. They just kind of stayed consistent, knew what they wanted to sound like, and just stayed without being like, oh, I think we'll make 3-4 albums, and then I think we'll change the way we. Sorry, y'all, had to yawn. I don't think they weren't the type of band to say we're going to make 3-4 albums and then change up how we sound. They stayed consistent throughout. When you hear a Collective Soul song, you know it's Collective Soul because of the sound and the lead singer's voice. So I was really privileged and blessed that I was able to see them and sing with them live. And then they got off stage, and then Hootie came out. And Hootie played 23 songs. And they started out with I Go Blind, which was a song from Cracked Rear View. And it had a real, you could just tell it was going to set the tone for the night. And then they played some, then they went on, they played all their hits. Played a lot from Cracked Rear View because this was the reason for the tour. They were celebrating 25 years of Cracked Rear View. But throughout, they added things like they had a whole album. It was a covers album. And if you guys don't know what covers are, that's where Hootie sang somebody else's song. So, for example, during the concert, song 6 was For What It's Worth from Buffalo Springfield. So, yes, Hootie covered that song because it was originally Buffalo Springfield, but Hootie and the Blowfish sang the song. So, that's a great cover. And does anybody that knows me, that knows how much I love music? I love cover songs. I love original songs too. But songs like In the Air Tonight from Chris Daughtry and Brad Arnold, that's one of my all-time favorite cover songs from them. For What It's Worth, Hootie and the Blowfish is another fantastic cover song. If you haven't gone to listen to it, go listen to it. Darius's voice is just phenomenal on that song. And that night, Darius's voice was just top notch. And then they broke it down, and they did like a campfire sessions, acoustic version of Hootie did of their show, and they did songs like Will the Circle Be Unbroken, which is a fantastic Christian song. Desert Mountain Showdown. They just kind of had a stripped down version of it to just make it feel like a campfire. And in the back, they had a campfire going. It was just a campfire session. It was, And then they came out and sang Wagon Wheel, which you Darius Rucker fans know he covered that song. That was Old Crow Medicine Show who sang that song the first time. So they sang that song and then did a cover of Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? A Led Zeppelin song. And then again, Edwin McCain came out and sang his song Solitude, which was Edwin's song that Hootie and the Blowfish covered. So it was Darius and Edwin sang the vocals together on that song. So I thought that was amazing. And they told stories throughout, like when they sang Losing My Religion. I found out that the whole reason Hootie and the Blowfish wanted to become a band was because of REM. So they fashioned their music like them. They fashioned their business model like them. I mean, they wanted to be like REM. And so they said, they told that story and then said, so to honor our heroes, sorry y'all, I was yawned again. In honor of our heroes, we're going to do a cover song from our favorite band, which is REM, and they did Losing My Religion. And then they played songs that they did a couple songs that Darius did, like his song All Right from his first album. But what really struck me, and I knew that they played their own, they wrote their own music, I knew that. But they told the story of the song Hold My Hand. And that song was actually written back in 1984, I believe they said, either 84 or 86. And it was written by the drummer. And they just brushed him off and they said, and Darius even said, back in the day, we were jerks. And we weren't listening. We were young and dumb and all that. And didn't really think, we're just trying to get everything off the ground. So drummer came in, said, I got this song for you. And Darius said, just being a jerk. He used a couple other words that I'm not going to use. But said, what you got? And he came out with Hold My Hand. And y'all, Hold My Hand is one of the top songs of Hootie and the Blowfish. Now, when you think Hootie and the Blowfish, sorry, I lost my voice there for a minute. When you think Hootie and the Blowfish, you think Hold My Hand, Only Want to Be With You, Let Her Cry, that type of stuff. And they played all those songs. I Go Blind. But they ended the show with Only Want to Be With You, which I thought was fitting because that's their most popular song. But before that, they sang Interstate Love Song, which was a cover of Stone Temple Pilots. So people that grew up in the 90s, that knew Stone Temple Pilots, loved that song. And I knew, sorry y'all, and I knew Stone Temple Pilots after their success. So I knew the song and I thought, this is, but they put their Hootie spin to it. It wasn't the hard, grungy type, but you knew that it was Stone Temple Pilots when they came out. And then when Only Want to Be With You came out at the end of the night, it was just great. And I was able to get there and I bought band shirts from Collective Soul and Hootie and the Blowfish to remember. And I actually made playlists the next day of the concerts. So you can actually go on my page and find Hootie and the they're in individual folders, but I put Hootie and the Blowfish Concert 2024, Collective Soul Concert 2024, Edwin McCain Concert 2024. But I kind of, with Collective Soul, I excluded Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap because I couldn't find one that was, or didn't want to put one in there that was AC/DC and not Collective Soul. So I excluded that song. But other than that, you can go to the page and you can look at the playlist from Hootie, Collective Soul, and Edwin McCain. And honestly, I'm a bigger fan of these bands, and this tends to happen to me when I go see a band live and I see their light show. The light shows from all three of them were amazing. The vocals on all three acts were amazing. The atmosphere of the night was perfect. The weather was perfect. The people in the amphitheater were amazing and sang every word to almost every song that every act came out with. And I would definitely recommend seeing these bands if they ever come back around. I have, like I said, been a fan forever. And to sing these songs just was top notch. So go check out Edwin McCain, Collective Soul, and Hootie and the Blowfish, and listen to their albums. Listen to some live albums, because I know they've got live albums. And if you can find live videos on YouTube, look them up. I highly recommend all three bands. But it was a great night, full of fun and dancing, and it's something I'm going to remember for a lifetime. So thank you guys for listening, and have a good y'all.